Hello and welcome back to art class. Today we are going to be working on creating and practicing 2-point perspective rectangular prisms, okay? Or rectangles or boxes. Okay? What we're going to do today is worth points, so make sure that you do turn this in. It's not halfway through the project. This is like a separate little piece of it, just so that I know that you have really good understanding of how to do this project. You're going to need a few things. You're going to need a regular piece of paper. You're going to definitely want an eraser. You're going to definitely want a pencil, and if your pencil has an eraser, that's fine. And you're going to want a straight edge or ruler. I just use a ruler. There's not too much measuring that has to go on. We're just needing to be able to draw some perfectly straight lines, and they have to be straight. Some people have a tendency like, oh, I can draw a straight line. That's not how it's going to work. On your assignment, when we start to do the final version of the project, things will have to be perfectly lined up, otherwise it will not look right. Okay. As you can see here, as I got a picture up, 2-point perspective is where you can see two parts of a building. Okay. Often you'll see it when we're talking about streets and things like that, and you can see it in my example. You'll usually see two roads. Now, we are not doing a city per se. We are actually going to end up making a tree house from a side angle. So it's going to have, you're going to see one side of the building and one side of the building here. We need to practice creating that box look so that it looks correct. Okay. So what I need us to do, first we're going to do a few things with the paper. First, we're going to fold our paper in half like a book. Okay. Open up, you got a nice crease right there, and you're going to turn it and fold it the other way, the hot dog way, and you are going to then go like this. Right? That way we have a fold going this way and a fold going this way. In perspective pictures, as you can, if you think back to your 4th grade, we did a project there. Most people remember doing a house or a room in perspective. Some people remember doing a street. It depends on the year. In 2nd grade, we do exploding shapes from a point. So that's one that also is in perspective. We need our first point here, and I want you to put a dark dot and a VP right there. And over here, you're going to do the same thing right on the edge. Put a dot and VP. VP just stands for vanishing point. That way you know what I'm talking about. That's going to be here. This is the point at which things are so far off into the distance, it looks like it vanishes because it's gotten so small. Okay. This first part here is going to be pretty easy. We're going to do a couple practice pieces, and then on the back we will also do a couple of practice things. And then remember, this sheet is worth points, so you're going to need to make sure you take photos of it and turn it in. All right, so let's do the easiest one to start off with. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line going above and below the middle part here. You can see the folds are right here. I'm going to draw right on the fold, and I'm going to draw a line that it's roughly about 2 inches tall. And the reason why I'm picking 2 inches is just because I know it's going to fit on the space. It goes a little bit above the line, the fold, and it comes down a little bit above the fold. So this is the actual corner of our box. Okay, now I need to start drawing the sides. Well, in order to get the sides correct, I really do need to line them up perfectly with the vanishing point. So it does take a little bit to get the ruler to line up. And I'm just going to lightly draw a line right to the vanishing point. I actually want it to actually go all the way to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to do a matching one on the other side. Again, these are pretty easy. We're just all you have to line up. Take your time, get your straight edge to line up nice and neat. Okay? This is going to be the bottom of the box. Okay? Now we need to do the top of the box. That's pretty easy. It's also going to line up with the vanishing point. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so they're going to match right now. Okay, this does not look like a box. This looks like a diamond with a line in it, and it will until we're finished. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the corner of the box, and right now the side of the box is going on to infinity. Over here, the side of the box is going on to infinity. What we need is a line that is going straight up and down to make sure we know where the box actually ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my straight edge, and I'm going to make sure my ruler is straight up and down so it looks straight up and down. Some people get lazy and they start tilting their ruler, and it's not going to look right. You got to go straight up and down. Make sure you take the time to do that. And I'm going to draw a straight up and down line connecting the top and bottom like that. Very easy. Then what I'm going to do is take my eraser, and I'm going to get rid of the extra. I'm going to leave the vanishing point because we need that. Okay, so now this side of the box is complete. Over here, I'm going to change it. Now I could make it perfectly even, but I don't think that's as dramatic. I want a box that might hold a long object. So it's going to be like this, and then I just get rid of the extra. Okay, so that's like holding the box right in your face. So if I was closed up this box, it's like looking at the corner here. I can see this side and I can see this side. Okay. All right, now what if the box is slightly above you? Okay, so that means you're gonna see the corner still, but you can see the side, and you'll be able to see a little bit of the bottom. We need to be able to draw that. Now, what's really nice is it starts out kind of the same way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to draw a line. I'm actually gonna just start right in the top corner because it's just convenient, so that everybody starts in the same spot. And again, I'm going to go with about 2 inches. And for me, honestly, 2 inches is roughly about from my fingertip to my knuckle. Okay, so center line, just like we did before. And then the bottom line will go to the vanishing point. And yes, it does get slanted down because the vanishing point is below it, and it needs to stay that way. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. To this vanishing point, this vanishing point. I need to do the same thing to the top. So the top needs to go to the vanishing point, top of the vanishing point. So take your time, line it up. Okay. I need to do the same thing I did here. I need to figure out where does the side end. So this one I'm going to have end, again, I'm making sure my ruler is straight up and down compared to the paper. It's not leaning, it's not tilted. I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to get rid of the extra. Make sure my corner is visible. There we go. And over here, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter than I did before. Okay, basically it's kind of the reverse of what I did before, just to get some practice in. Okay, so on our box, we can see the corner, that's right here. We can see the side, that's there. We can see this side, that's here. Okay? Now we need to be able to see the bottom. Well, like how do we figure out the bottom? There's actually a kind of easy way. We know the bottom has to be down here somewhere, right? Because that's the bottom. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go from the corner, because this is a box, from this corner to this vanishing point. So it's going to go across. But you can't do the bottom without this part being done. So make sure this is completed. All right, so I'm going to draw the line like that. Now, if you happen to hit your box that's below here, maybe your line was a little bit long, just go over it. This is just practice, so I just need to see that you can get everything lined up correctly. Okay, so now we have kind of the bottom, but if I drew a straight line like straight down, that's not gonna look right. The box has got to look like it's lining up with the vanishing point. So here, we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna line up this corner, and they're gonna crisscross. like that. So the lines will go crisscross. And if you notice, now the bottom of the box looks correct, and I just have to get rid of any extra that shouldn't be there. Right? So that's how we do a bottom box. All right. You may want to practice that. So it's going to be something that we're going to keep doing. We're going to do one more box. We did one in the middle. We did one above. Let's do one that's below, so that instead of seeing the bottom of the box, you're going to see the corner, the side, and now you'll see a little bit of the top. And you'll find out that the top and bottom ways are very similar. Again, I'm going to draw a line. I think I'm going to draw it a little bit shorter than I did before, just because I thought maybe that was a little long. So I'll draw it just a smidge shorter. Okay. And as before, do the bottom of the box. Bottom line here goes to the vanishing point. Match it on the other side. Then I'm going to line the top up with the vanishing point. Okay, pretty easy. Right. Again, it's nice lined up to the vanishing point. Now I need to figure out the next step, which is to where do these edges end. So I'm going to make this box a bit smaller on both sides. Here. I hope you're drawing a bit lighter than I am, because as you can see all my extra lines, and that's just so that the camera will see these lines really well. Normally I would not draw this dark. All right, so I'm going to draw a line here. Okay, I'll get rid of the extra. Okay, whoop, I need to, this tip's done, clean that up. Okay, so here's my line. This almost looks like an open book if you really think about it. All right, now it works the same way it did up here. I need this piece that's missing, okay? And in order to do that, the lines are going to have to crisscross at the top. So I am going to take it from this corner to the vanishing point. Okay, there. Then I'm going to go from this corner to this vanishing point. Now, if you notice, I didn't actually draw all the way to the vanishing point because I know I'm going to have to erase a section of this, because all I need is these two parts where they crisscross. So I'm going to make my line a little bit darker because I can't see that real well. So hold on a second. All right, that's a little bit better. So now you can see the top piece of this box, and then I can erase the part that I don't need. Once you've done this a couple times and you get the hang of it, it does get pretty easy. At first, it's kind of mind-boggling for some people, like, how do I get it? And I would really like you to focus on getting these three completed, because they're really the basics of everything that we're going to be doing. Okay? Once you have these three completed, you're going to flip it over to the back side. And you're going to put a vanishing point over here without ripping the paper. Put a VP, just like I did. Put a vanishing point over here, put a VP just like I did. Okay. Now, on the front side, we had done 3 in the center, and that's great, except that most people don't, when they're drawing a picture with boxes, they're not going to be perfectly lined up like this. So we need to practice moving them around the page a little bit. So we're going to do 4 more on the back. And in order to do that, we're going to need some lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line. It's, again, about from my tip to my knuckle. About it. I'm going to do one over here. Same thing. I'm going to put one at the bottom and one at the bottom. So I'm going to have 4 lines to deal with. Okay? And again, I use kind of my finger to my knuckle to kind of gauge the line. They don't have to be perfectly even. And I'm gonna do each one individually. I've had some people try to rush like, oh, I'll just do all of them at once. I really don't recommend that because the lines will get super confusing as to what's going on. So I recommend doing one, finishing it up, going on to the next, finishing it up, going on. And as I said, once you get the hang of it, it actually goes pretty quick. I'm gonna talk you through one of these, and then I'm gonna just kind of quickly go through these on my own in a fast forward. Okay? So this works out the same way as it did before. This is the corner of the box. Now we need to draw the sides. So I'm gonna line it up, the top part up with the vanishing point on both sides. Okay, there we go. Then I'm gonna do the bottom, line it up with the vanishing point. Okay, now right now the sides are going to infinity. I need to fix that. I need to figure out where do I want them to end. They need to end before they go past a fold. So I'm gonna get close to the fold and I'm gonna stop it. If they go past the fold, what's gonna happen is they're gonna get in the way of the other boxes, so we don't want that. And then let's go ahead and do one here. Again, making sure my ruler is straight up and down, not tilted. Then I go in and erase the part that I don't need. Okay, now if you notice it looks weird, we're missing the bottom of the box. So I'm going to line it up, bottom corner here to the vanishing point. Draw it darker, okay, like that. And then I'm going to use this corner to go to the other vanishing point so they crisscross. You can see this would, if it continued on, would go to the vanishing point, but I know I'm not going to need all of that, so I just drew what I think I know I need. And then go in, erase any extra that happens to be there. Like that. And now I have my box. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do these other three, but I'm going to put them on fast forward. If you are not sure how to do them, make sure you come back to it and just replay what I'm doing on this first box or what I did with the top or bottom box. Okay. Now you can see it a little bit better. I just did the black because of all the erasing that I had to do. Okay, so what I'm going to need you to do is you're going to practice do the front and the back. Okay, so that means you're going to have to turn in two pictures to me. You're going to need a picture of the front and you need a picture of the back. Okay, and then I will see you next week for how are we going to use this to actually make a picture of a treehouse. And we'll go over that. And I will see you next week.